Hi! Welcome to my channel for fearless bag makers. I've been waiting for you to stop by. You have to be a little fearless to do my project. They're not the easiest in the world. So my brand is Anne Bonney. Anne Bonney, she was a fearless pirate. That's why she's my alter ego. So if you like, you can buy the patterns of the bags I make. They're for sale on my website, annebonneybags.com. Mary Reed, she was actually a friend of Anne Bonney, and they were pirating in the Caribbean, here around the Bahamas as well. So today we're making this bag, which is the same as this test bag I made. So you can see, you can make them different colors. Here's the back of it. Here's the back of it. First we have recessed zipper. Then we have decorative zipper panel with cork here. And then a zipper pocket. On the other side we have slip pockets, 2 slip pockets. And on the bottom I put something stiff, a stiff plastic to make it a little nicer. So I've used rivets and grommets. This one I've used vinyl and cork. And this one is cork here with gold, and then this is gold vinyl. When you start with my pattern, and this does not have so many pieces, and most of them are rectangular, so it's pretty easy to cut and easy to sew. It's not the easiest tote bag in the world, but it's fun. It comes on a PDF with the pattern pieces and a description. And the description has one version with no photos, so you can print that out. That's like 9, 10, 11 pages. And then there is the description with photos. You can go on your iPad instead of having to print out all those photos. It shouldn't be too hard to make. So I'll use this gold vinyl for the bottom. And then I'll use cork for the midsection and top like that. And this colorful stuff here is that's only for inside the pocket. That's cotton batik. But I've interfaced it with woven lining because I think that makes it sturdy and good and makes it nicer. Then my lining is waterproof canvas. You see, it's plastic kind of on one side, canvas on the other. So it's pretty sturdy. Keeps the bag up. Are you ready? Okay, let's start with 3 pockets with a decor panel on. Let me put my glasses on so I see something. So the pockets, we have 2 pockets on the front panel. And here, 2 pockets down here. So we can start with them. Here is the pocket lining. That goes on the other. My 2 little decor panels for the front and 1 decor panel for the back. And this is for the lining as well. All right. So in order to do this right, we need to mark off, find the front panel. Lay it against the front there. Use the rectangle I already have there. What we want to do is use tape to glue them in place when we have decided. So I'll put one little tape. I don't really want to sew on top of it. Yes, so we have to find exactly. I'll stick a needle up there on each the short side, and then on the line where the center would be. There. We need to mark this down the center. I want to know that it goes there and there. And then I need the other side. Now I can happily place it. First, well, I have to be a little careful with my little double-sided glue. So I'll stick it right in the corner there. Roll it over carefully. Now we can use the ruler We have the center there. And then we roll. All right, so yep, this is, you have to focus on this. You can't have a heavy foot. One done, one to go. You see how helpful it is with that double-sided tape. Just have that there. Makes it so much easier to hold this in place. Managed to get myself a little off here. So much easier now to see. So when you have agreed with yourself exactly where this is going to be, make sure it's that your line is centered there and it's equal amount away from the sides. So use the pattern and check it. And when you're happy and you know where you're going to sew, you can put the pocket pieces on. Start with one. It's easier to control. One, put that on top there. I guess I can put it one there. Sometimes it's good with long clips, but if you don't have them, you can still just hold it or use a needle on the seam allowance. You can on the seam allowance only. All right, so I'll do one pocket. This is where I have to start. One. We can do the next. I stop exactly where the other started. Careful, I do not sew out of bounds. So now we need to cut down that center. Start with these big scissors because they are pretty strong. And I stop here before I get to the end. Stop there too before I get to the end. But I want to be there. And then I'll jump to another pair of scissors. Okay, go a little further. And then cut into the corner. I need to go all the way in without cutting the thread. Otherwise they will pucker. See that now? Do the same on the other side. So now what we have to do is we have to stick this pocket lining inside through the slit we made. Finger press. Do the same on the other side. Yeah, finger press, although it's a little harder. pull that in, and on the short ends here, we have to put them into the back and pull them out, turn it over, pull them out with a little force. Careful, careful, but with force. There. The vinyl doesn't really want to bend around the curve here, so we have to force it. And as I've said, it's good to, on the part, so when you attach the zipper, you put it just in, just so it reaches the end, and then it's easier if you cut two teeth, only two teeth off on the other side, because then you can, when you put that in, it will go on pretty straight. But now when you put it in, you have to hold both sides. See? We can't sew with those clips in, but we still have to pull. We have to pull that fabric away while we sew. Lift the foot, but zip it down. Alright, I'm still pulling the lining here in the corner. Have to be careful here. Use the hand crank. Pivot around the corner. We need to close the pocket, and we do that by sewing across the top here. We sew with the lining that we folded. Fold it back, try and sew as close as you can to the zipper. Stop on the side here, continue down, trying to get that triangle, a couple stitches into that too, so to hold everything. Then we sew up the other side. Do the same thing, try and get a couple stitches, one stitch or two in the triangle. One pocket down, yeah, we can pretty up the seams. Next, one down, one to go. Sometimes I like to stick a little needle in the seam there. It's easier than the clips actually. I think we'll do that here. So we take that, make sure that it opens up to the center, because they both have to be towards the center. Oh, the needle is totally gummed up. We take some acetone. Don't drip it everywhere. Certainly keep it away from children. Wash your needle, because acetone dissolves glue. So now we need to fix this little pocket here. We do the same, fold it up, turn it over to the bottom. Oops. And we sew the seam on top here. We sewed there on top, to the side, and now we're sewing on the other side just like we did on the other pocket. Okay, now we need to pretty up the seams a little bit. That part. Now we can sew the little decor thing on the front. I love my double-sided tape from Springfield Leather Company. I'm not getting paid to say that. There. So I'll just sew around and then I'll even up the edges if they don't really match. We need to put the rivets in place. Okay, let's, well, if we're going to play with the rivet machine, you might as well get the back. The rivets on the back and the front are on the same spot. So what we will do is we'll measure, make sure it's good there, and then we'll mark where the holes are going to be. And the other side. We clip the holes. And then we do the same on this. Actually, we can even fold that in two. We're only basting this. Now we got that, and now we can put the bottom panel on here, like this. And we have the mid marks and everything. Another little pocket on the back here. Okay, let's mark the center. There. We really want to know the sides, and we want to know the center. Sides and the center. Because we know we have to stop here and we have to stop here. And there, what we need to do is also glue the little panel on to the right side. We need our little double-sided glue again, because that's so useful. Now that's the side, and then we put that on here, same mark, and all we have to do now is make it sure it's straight on top. Now we only need top stitch around there. Branding is important. Okay, top panel. Now we can sew the bottom. What we'll do here is the seams, we want to spread them on each side because that will be prettier and thinner. Other people call that butterflying the seams. So fold them up like a little butterfly, I guess. Editing this video, I realized that my camera had shut down before I managed to do the box corners. So I want to do that again, just to show it. I'm using this blue vinyl. Now you're supposed to do the side seams on the bag. Well, this is only my lower part, but you can imagine you do it on the whole bag. Just regular like this. But you sew all the way. Of course, you butterfly the seams. That's one side seam of our bag. So now we're going to do the box corners. Turn the bag. So you take the side seam and put it right on top of the bottom seam, like that. And then it always helps to make a straight line where the seam allowance is supposed to be. And now we snip the seam allowance a little bit, half of it, or a little less than half even, because we don't want it to be too thick. We don't want too much extra fabric on the bottom. This is the boxed bottom. Now we can continue.
And now it's time for the recessed zipper panel.
Here's the panel. So we want to attach the zipper and we want a little tail hanging out to make it easier to open the bag. So one end is going to be open like that, and then the other that is closed, that's going to have this tail. So what we'll do is we take the zipper, turn it upside down, fold it in, sew a couple stitches. Fold it 90 degrees. If you find it hard to do this on the machine, you could do this by hand. But it makes it so much easier. because if you use a clip, that might fall out. Okay. What we want to do is bend it right there, make a 90-degree angle, and baste it over to the back. See, so now we got it like that. And now we can sew it. We don't have to worry about that black end. We only need to worry about half an inch, starting half an inch from the edge, because that's going to be seam allowance. And then we just sew it. We don't need this part for now. When we come towards the end, we fold it, we fold the seam allowance in. There. Then I make the other one the same. Let's see. That's going to be like that. I need to watch it so it starts like that. I need to clip this one because I need to start the other end. It's easier. And fold the seam allowance in. You don't have to sew to the end there because that's coming out. Just make sure that it looks all right. Zipper teeth are...
Next up is the lining of the zipper panel.
It's easier to sew from the side where you already see your seam. I'm feeling where the zipper go, going just to where it goes, going straight across it, carefully, hand cranking so we don't have any accidents, sewing in the same seam, folding the seam allowance the exact same on the other side, on the back here. Cutting in the corner there a little more. Last part. Now we need to make the other one just the same. And now we can sew them onto the top decor panel on the inside. So that means we have to find the center, the middle. So we turn it up like that. Use some clips. And now we can sew them on top of we can sew it to the top so we know exactly where. So what we want to do now is this top stitch this part. Fold up the seam allowance where it's supposed to be. Done with one side. Now we have gummed up the needle again, my little double-sided tape. So we only need to wash it. Acetone. Don't have a cigarette with this on your hands. And the slip pocket. So this slip pocket, I've cut one long strip to both of them sideways. You can cut them however you want, in 2 pieces or 1 piece divided on the top. But I was planning on having a little strip of gold on the top, so let me just sew that on. Folding that over to the other side, making it pretty, top stitch. This is going to hang down and I don't want it in conflict. That should be good. I can put the needle, not a pin. I can put a pin in place. And then we want to divide this in 2. I think we can sew them together. Yeah, almost ready. let's do the box corners. I think we'll put the seam allowance to one side and the other on the other side. So let's take the wrong side of the main exterior, make that wrong side out, the right side out on the lining. If you want the zipper pocket in the back, you have to place it in the back now. And now remember to open the zipper. That's very important. Or you'll struggle. Okay, so I want my zipper pocket in the back, so I'll stick it there in the back. There. And now I have to check just to make sure here. Okay, so now we clip this together. Clip the parts together, the exterior and the interior. Now we just need to give birth to this bag. And we do that through the pocket, inside pocket. So I'll start with the bottom. I think I'll hold the bottoms. Well, I think maybe it would be smart to roll it a little somehow. And then pull it. All right. I think not. Ooh. It all has to come out this little pocket. Coming. See, the head is out. Now we need the rest of the bag. All right. Okay. Probably have to help it a little. Oh man, this is tough, but don't give up. See, we're getting there. Okay, let's see. A little left. Breathing is important. So always so exciting to turn a bag around that you forget to breathe, right? It's amazing you're still with me. This is taking a while. All right. Now we need to top stitch this. Okay, now. Okay, so I decided I wanted this a little bottom on the bag to make it a little stiffer, to keep the shape better. So I took a little piece of foam that's a little larger than the piece. It's as wide as the bottom of the bag, and it's a little bit shorter because I don't want it to look forced. Now I can stick this down in here. You see what I'm doing? Sticking my bottom in, following, leading it through, so I'm sure it will be sitting on the bottom between the lining and the main part. Because now if I put something heavy in it, it won't bulge down like that. You know, it won't be like a big thing there. So now just sew the pocket shot. Stitch length a little longer. All right. Ha! Look at that. So what we need to do now is make the strap. And of course we have to put the zipper pull on. Here it is. Oh, I'm decorating myself. Okay, here's the zipper pull. That. Ooh, that looks good. Right, so now we need to fasten this little. Yeah, that should work. And then, yeah, so the bag is done. We only have the grommet that goes here. There. See my little bottom? Makes it a little prettier. Okay, that's ready for grommet. Now we can do the strap. And then we have to do the tassel. I could play with my double-sided tape again. Now we can do the strap, shoulder strap. So if you're a good girl, you mark the center with a pen. I like to live dangerously all of a sudden. And now we fold that towards the center. I'm operating under the assumption that the center is in the middle of my tape. Or at least that's where I meant it to be. There. And then I put that next to it, so they meet. And now I do more double-sided tape. I'm so happy now. And I put that in the center as well, right on top of where the other two meet. If I'm going a little zigzag, you don't need to mark for this because you have to go very zigzag astray for this to turn out a catastrophe. And then you take the tape off. And then you glue this cork on. Now this is a little more, okay, this is a little more precision. Depending on how much you want it to be seen on the sides here. I think I could have cut it a little narrower, but there. Now we just sew this. So now I'll mark this. Eyeball that. Try and make it the same on the other side. So I can see exactly where it goes. I measure like that. Mark off where I need the hole. there, and there. That's the strap. So here I have the little dies here. They are for rivets. What I can do now is I can put in the die. This is a die set that costs $12 or something. This is for grommets. I just stick that in, screw this in, and that's how easy. You don't need two different presses. So say we want the grommet there, well away from the side, or not too far from the top actually either. There. See that? A ring there. Same on that side. Normally the grommet press manages to press itself, make the hole itself, but this goes via, you know, both the front and the back of the bag, so it's not so easy for it. So there I have some kind of a hole. We got a little hole there, got a little hole there. See, I put the thing on the press around it. Then I put the ring, and this ring has a little, like a little, what do you call it, bend. I make sure that's down. The bevel goes down. Okay, so now I can press hard. See how that works? See? That worked well. Now the bag is finished. I just want to show you how you can make a tassel. Well, you cut up, but you leave half an inch on top or a little less, or probably half an inch is good. Try to cut straight, moving it's easier probably with the ruler that's not so long. The double-sided tape again, put that on top here. I have a little strap I made. I just folded the gold fabric in two and sewed one little seam there. This thing is going to be inside the tassel.
I'm using a little lobster clasp to fasten the tassel to the bag.
I'm putting it here and then rolling the tassel as straight as I can around it on the top, trying to make the top very straight without gluing myself onto it. Okay. There. It's easier to roll on the table. There. Okay. Cut a hole with a hole punch. Wow, you made it so far. That's good. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. If you subscribe to the channel, don't forget to press the bell so you get notified every time I make a new video. Have a wonderful 6 hours making this bag.